All right, so let's go through how to make a basic animation in Brush Ninja. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw like a ball, basically. So I'm going to use my shape tools, and so I clicked on the shape, I clicked on the circle. Now something you're going to notice if you draw right now is that the circle is empty in the middle. So what I'm going to do is, to make it not empty, I'm going to go over to the top here on my colors, and there's like a paint bucket. This is the inside color of an object. So now if I draw it, it is now full. Okay, so if I want to position this, I can click on this, this arrow up here. This lets me move an object. So I'm just going to start it in the bottom, actually at the top, because I'm going to have it drop down and bounce like a ball. So it's going to start up there. Now to create an animation, what I'm going to do is I need to add a frame here. So there's a couple of ways. If you go down below your canvas here, you'll see a picture, and you'll see like a little version of your canvas. You can see my ball here. Now I could create a new frame that's blank and draw something else, but because I want it to be the same basic object and I just want to move it, I'm going to duplicate this frame. So I'm going to duplicate it, and when I click on this duplicate button, it makes an exact copy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move my ball a little bit. Not a lot. I want to move it a little bit. And then I'm going to duplicate this frame, and I'm going to repeat that process. I'm moving it diagonally down, and you can see it kind of shifting down as I do this. And I'm going to keep repeating this process. Now I want to show you something that's really going to help you with animation. At the top here, you'll see this button next to the clipboard, and it says toggle onion skinning. Onion skin, as you can see, shows you a faded out version of each of your frames. So it can show you your progress of your animation. It shows you each one that you've done. That's not going to be visible in the final, but it just kind of helps you as you're animating. So now I'm going to move this, and you can see the little ghost of the last one. Again, I'm going to duplicate, and I'm just going to keep repeating this process until I get my ball kind of to the bottom of my screen. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've gotten the ball to the bottom of my canvas, and what I want to do now, this is a little animation trick. To make it look like this ball is bouncing, when it hits the bottom, I want to make it squish a little. It deforms. So what I'm going to do is, on this frame, I'm going to just drag this and just kind of make it squish like this. Just a little bit. I'm going to do it over a couple frames. And I'm going to squish it again. And now what I'm going to do is, as it starts to move up, back up, it's bouncing, right? I'm going to unsquish it a little bit at a frame at a time here. I'm trying to get it back to kind of round, right? And now I'm going to move it, I'm going to keep animating it moving up and off the screen. Now that I have all my frames, you'll see I have 40 frames. I'm going to go ahead and play it so that I can see what it looks like. Notice how it squished a little at the top there. And now it's coming down, it's falling, and it's going up. All right, that looks pretty good. However, I can change the speed at which it plays back. So I can set the animation speed right here. Notice it says frame rate. Right now it's 6 frames per second. So it means that every second 6 pictures are going by. That's a pretty slow frame rate. So I'm going to increase it to make my animation look smoother. I'm going to double it to 12, and then let's try that and see how that looks. Oh, that's much better. That looks much better. So I can do that. Now, if I like my animation and I want to export it to make it so it's visible on the computer, like elsewhere, I'm going to click Export, and I'm going to call this my ball animation, and then I'm going to export it as an animated GIF. Sometimes it takes a minute to process. And now I can click Download Animated GIF. And I'm going to save it. And now I have it saved so I can play it in any web browser.